Good morning, my friends. Well, it's Saturday morning, the 30th of November, and I'm parked here at Salva Park. Been here before several times. It's a very nice place, and well, yeah, you can look at the view here. I'm gonna go for a walk, and I want to talk to you guys about something, about what this video is about. And normally I never talk about politics on my channel, never talk about something, how to say, to do with politics and to do with stuff like that, and that is because it is something that people can get very upset about. It is something that can make people argue, and I don't really like that. I like to talk about stuff, I like a good conversation, but I don't like arguments. But this time my video is about something like that, and I know it is something that can make some people upset. It is something that can trigger discussions. I have to say though, I really hope that this is not gonna end up in a discussion rather than end up in just having a talk. You know, it's okay to have different opinions. I appreciate that when people can express their opinion, as long as we do it in a nice way, without getting all upset and all emotional and nasty about it. This video is about climate change, and it is about the demonstration, the climate strike that I joined in yesterday in Copenhagen. And already now some of you obviously think, wow, is he one of those? And yes, I am. I support the climate strikes. I think, and that's exactly the point, I believe. And when it comes to belief, well, that's when it gets difficult, because I don't know for sure that the climate change are human, that climate change are caused by humans, but I think so. I have to listen to what the scientists say. I have to listen to what people who are a lot smarter than me in these areas. I'm not very smart, really. I'm not. So I have to listen to what other people say and then make up my mind. And that's what I've done. I made up my mind. But as I say, I think, I believe, and some people are of another belief, and that's perfectly fine. That's not a problem. But yeah, you know, this climate demonstration yesterday, it was not all about climate change actually. It was not all about CO2. It was also about the whole idea behind Black Friday. We did spend a lot of time listening to speeches about what is Black Friday, why is Black Friday, why shouldn't we support Black Friday. And I totally agree with that, 100%. Being a minimalist, Black Friday is just way out there, you know. Why go spend a lot of money on stuff, you know, in a lot of cases people do not even need that stuff. When I hear about people who spend thousands of kroner on, well, all kinds of things, clothes, electronics, whatever, shoes for that matter, I don't understand it. Of course it's up to them, sure. All I think is we should think before we do this. Do we really need it? I would never go buy all kinds of stuff just because it's discounted. Yeah, it's discounted, but I save even more if I don't buy it. You know, buy what you need. That's what I do. But of course, again, if you like to go spend thousands of kroner, thousands of dollars every time it's Black Friday, it's up to you. It's your money. You know, I just don't like it. But I don't like it for me. So yeah, we talked about that at the demonstration. We went on a march, walked through the shopping streets in Copenhagen. And why we do that? Yeah, well, I would say I do it to inspire other people. That's why I make these videos. My point about these videos is try to inspire people to see the way I live, and maybe that way is something that you like. And then I guess this time I'm trying to inspire you to think about the way you live, the way I live. Maybe I can inspire someone. But yeah, there's some things got nothing to do with CO2, but still got something to do with climate change. One of the things, when I look back, let's say 15, 20 years back, and if I took my motorcycle and went for a drive in the summertime, when I came back from a trip, there would be, I was about to say, hundreds, maybe even thousands of dead insects on the helmet, on the visor, on my leather suit. This summer, last summer as well, driving the Raven, I've been driving all summer, and not once did I have to clean insects off the windscreen. And I'm like, what's going on? Where's all the insects? And then you can say, yeah, but that's good. We don't like insects. No, true. That's true. I don't like insects. They're annoying. But still, they're food. They're food for a lot of animals, a lot of birds. I like birds. But if the birds don't have any food, whoops, no birds. Why is that? Why is the both summer 2019, summer 2018, why is the amount of insects gone down so much? I don't get it. Something's wrong. Another thing, got nothing to do with CO2. We see pictures of plastic in the oceans. We see pictures of whales, turtles, animals, sea-living animals who eat the plastic and die from it. That's not good. Why is that? Well, that's because humans just throw the plastic in nature. We need to find another way. One thing we could do is to stop using plastic. And of course, that's the thing. What can we do as just normal consumer? What is it that we can do to help these problems, to avoid plastic getting into the oceans? Well, of course, we have to start with ourselves. That's the thing I always tell my students in Thailand when I taught down there. When you point at someone, remember there's 3 fingers pointing at you. You know, these 3 here, they're pointing back at you. That's important. So start with yourself. I bought one of these fabric shopping bags. I was at a supermarket, and that supermarket it's a little bit funny because it's probably the cheapest discount supermarket we got in Denmark. But they focused very much on the environmental thing when it comes to plastic bags. I turn around, it's pretty cold today. Maybe I'll go back and sit in the raven. Anyway, they focus very much on the plastic thing. And when you're done your shopping, and at the checkout, they don't have plastic bags. They got paper bags. And they got these fabric, reusable bags. And I bought one of those. And then some people tell me, yeah, you buy one of those, but it takes more CO2 to produce those. Well, that's probably true. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't know stuff like that. But the thing is, a plastic bag, I would use it to carry my stuff, my groceries from the shop out into the car. And then I would use the bag as a garbage bag. And yeah, it's true. I could fold it and bring it into the shop next time I go there. It's true. I could do that. Did I do that? No, I didn't. And yeah, that's because I'm stupid. But I only paid 2 kroner for it. 2 kroner 50. So it was like, never mind. I just use it as a garbage bag. Well, then I bought one of these fabric bags. Fabric shopping bags. And that one, of course, it's in the Raven. So every time I need to go shopping, I bring that fabric bag. So I don't need to buy a new plastic bag or paper bag. And I've used it a lot of times now. And I'm going to use it even more. And that one, I think I paid 15 kroner for it. So it's like 15 kroner. That's a lot of money. So I take care of it. I look after that. I know exactly where it is. Well, in my world, 15 kroners. So I'm too stingy to just get rid of that. So I'll make sure that it's in the same place every time, and that I remember to bring it into the shop so I don't have to buy another one. So I've used that bag a lot of times, and because I use it a lot of times, all of a sudden it's not just equal to one plastic bag. It's equal to a lot of plastic bags, and now that's why all of a sudden it's a lot better. Exactly, because it is reusable. It is reusable. And there's no waste. So that's great. So that's one way. That's one small way where I changed something. You know, I got rid of some plastic. And that's the thing. It's the little things we can do. It's the little things, just, you know, to make sure that the environment is just a little bit better. But as I say, I don't know much about this. I'm not very smart when it comes to this kind of stuff because I'm not a scientist. I'm just, what do you say? I'm just me. I have to believe what people tell me. You know. I have to make up my own mind. So, well, actually, Dina, my daughter, she studied more about this kind of stuff than I did, and she's quite smart. You know that. You met her. Some of you, or most of you, I think, have watched videos with Dina, and she sent me some video clips where she talk about what you can do, what you can do, what I can do to try to do a little bit, in your everyday life to help the environment. Because, yeah, we can disagree about the CO2, sure, no doubt about that. But the plastic in the oceans, can't really disagree about that because we know it's there, we see it. Now this is Roskilde Fjord. That's actually pretty nice and clean Roskilde Fjord. But I see it when I go to the ocean. See it on the beach. All kinds of stuff floating around, all kinds of stuff thrown on the beach. Well, brought in by the waves. So we know that, we see that. That's not about belief. And why it's there? Well, we know that too. Because plastic doesn't get into the ocean unless at one point some human had their hand on it. The thing about insects, I have no idea why that happened. No idea. Again, I'm not a scientist. And the problem is, it's not only the mosquitoes and stuff like that disappearing, it's also the bees. We have big problems in Denmark that there's not enough bees. There's not enough bee families. And when there's no bees, there's no bees to pollinate the fruit trees. There's no bees to pollinate what needs to be pollinated. So the farmers, they start to feel it. They start to say, whoops, problem. Our crops doesn't get pollinated. So we don't get the result that we wish. And that's a big problem, But yeah, we have to do something. And yeah, maybe you don't care about CO2, and that's, as I say, that's your thing. But we have to kind of care about nature. We have to care about the oceans. That's where we get all the fish from. The fresh air. We agree. The pictures we've seen from India with so much pollution in there, you can hardly see each other. Can hardly breathe. That's horrible. We need to do something about that. And yeah, I know we can say that's not our problem. We live in Denmark, we live in the US, we live in Europe. It is kind of our problem too. Because if the whole thing down there go haywire, well, it's a circle. It's the world. We only have this world. That's what I said on one of the banners I saw at the demonstration. There's no plan B. There's no planet B. And that's true. We only have this Earth. We only have this one Earth. We have to look after it. Anyway, we have to help them in India, in Africa, South America, wherever, the poor countries. We have to help them so that the air can be better, so they can pollute less. Because where is it? A lot of our stuff, a lot of our, well, whatever, food, toys, clothes, where is it produced? A lot of it is produced in the poor countries. And I know we want stuff cheap, and I go to discount supermarkets, and actually there's a helicopter up there. That's one of the problems, you know. Instead of buying products produced on the side of the world, we should buy products that's produced locally. Well, it's not only good for the environment, it's also good for us because it's fresher. But anyway, you see, this thing, the whole climate thing, it's not that simple. It's quite complex. It's not only one thing. It's not only CO2. I actually just noticed there's a sign up here where they several times during the summer, some people will come here and measure the quality of the water to see if it's safe for swimming. And they changed the sign up there. It used to be safe for swimming in this area. And yeah, it looks nice and clean. But now the signs say not safe for swimming. It's a poor water quality. And that's actually because of this small river here. You see, it's very beautiful. It really is. But those who know, those who are smarter than me, they measure the water quality. And they say, well, something's in this water. It can be from, it's some bacteria, E. coli. It can be from animal production, you know, like cows, pigs, whatever. It can also be from humans. So now they have to look into what's going on. Why does this small river carry those kind of bacteria out into the sea so that you cannot swim there anymore? Well, I don't want to go swim there now because it's too cold. But in summertime, you know, you cannot do that. It's not safe. We have to look after this place. You know, we only have one Earth. We have to be good to it. Well, at this point I'm gonna play some of the videos I took at the demonstration yesterday. And all I ask from you guys is you can speak your opinion. You can say your mind about this topic. You can tell me that you disagree. That's perfectly fine. You know, that's no problem, not at all. As long as we don't get into that point where we start calling each other names and arguing and yeah, stuff like that. I don't want that. That's just not. It's not why I'm here. You know. Let's be nice about this. And as I say, you don't have to agree. Not at all. I have this thing. I say, people of another opinion. That's where I learned something. You know, I'm a Buddhist. And I don't keep that as a secret or anything, you know. I am. And I've talked about that before. And I know a lot of you are Christians. And that's perfectly fine. Let's talk about it. I've had a colleague at one point when I worked at the home improvement store. I had a colleague who was Muslim, and we had some incredibly interesting talks. And that's exactly the thing. No discussions, because both of us knew I was never gonna turn him into a Buddhist, and he knew that he was never ever gonna turn me into a Muslim. So at that point, discussions were out of the question. There was no need to make it into a discussion. Because when you are discussing something, you're trying to convince the other person that what you think is the best. And both of us knew that's not gonna happen. So please, let's do this. Let's do the same thing here. Let's talk about this. And yeah, we can speak our mind. As long as we do it in a civil way, as long as we do it in a nice way. Let's speak our mind. Just be nice. Okay? Thank you, everybody. And here's the clips from the demonstration, the Climatestrike in Copenhagen yesterday.
Så der er ikke nogen tvivl om, at vi skal have en ekstremt radikal og ambitiøs klimalov, og vi skal holde politikerne op på deres løfter, og de skal give os den her klimalov. Vil I være med til at råbe det? Okay. Så den lyder sådan her. Hvad vil vi have? Klimalov. Hvornår vil vi have det? Nu. Hvad vil vi have? Klimalov.
Hvornår vil vi have det?
Nu. Hvad vil vi have? Klimalov. Hvornår vil vi have det? Nu. Hvad vil vi have? Klimalov. Hvornår vil vi have det? Nu. Ja! Woo!
Sådan! Alle politikere skal kunne høre det.
Okay, som I kan mærke, så er det stadig lidt koldt, og nu har vi sagt hej til CG. I må lige sige ja, hvis det er rigtigt. Cool. Og sørg for at...
Vi skal kunne høre det derinde. Det skal skåles ud. Fuck. Okay. Så det går sådan her. Både gas og olie er sort. Jeres klimaløfter er lort. Både gas og olie er sort. Jeres klimaløfter er lort. Både gas og olie er sort. Jeres klimaløfter er lort.
Well, that was some clip from yesterday, and as I said early on, Dana had made a video about what everybody can do, you know, what you can do and what I can do to look after this beautiful place, Mother Earth, what we can do to be good to it so that we can stay here. And I'm gonna make that into a separate video that I'm gonna post. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will watch the video that Dana made. So you guys take care, and thank you for watching. And remember, life is good. Bye bye.